This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
We're joined here by Mickie James. How you doing, Mickie?
I'm so good. I started to sing my song when I first came in. I don't know if you guys recorded that.
Hardcore cowboy.
Hardcore cowboy drinks milk. I don't
Hey,
know.
Royal Rumble, you got an incredible pop. That was amazing.
Thanks, Kurt. You were there. I know. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Sure,
you know, there would probably be no hardcore country if there wasn't a Kurt Angle.
Really? Why?
Well, we go back to when I first came to Impact, TNA at the time, and I wasn't going to come, and I didn't remember, like, Dixie had you call me.
Oh, that's right.
Times.
Yes, I called you. That's right.
Multiple times to talk me into coming to Impact Wrestling at the time, and it was my
doing.
Yeah, you did it.
That's awesome. I feel good about myself, Mickie.
Yes.
I did something right. Hey, we're going to start with questions. You had an amazing journey in this business, from starting in the indies to reaching the pinnacle. Did you ever imagine you'd accomplish all that you have?
Yes and no. I'm sure that you can relate to this, Kurt, because if you can't envision yourself there, if you can't visualize it, if you can't see it in your eye, then you can't reach it. And that's a form of training for me, that I have to see it. I have to envision it. I have to try to see it. So I've had to visualize myself there to dream of it being possible for me to be there. I don't know if that's a thing that you did for when you've gone after gold medals.
Visualization. Yeah, I did quite a bit for the Olympics, for pro wrestling. Yes, I did. I imagined myself being in that spot, and that's where I ended up.
Right. You have to see it. You have to see it because your mind is a powerful, powerful tool, right? Like that's where the hardest, I think, work is done, is to train your mind to not doubt yourself, because it's the first things that start to seep in are the doubts, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So yes, but no, in the sense of, like, because there was a lot of people telling me it would never happen, so then those people's opinions would start to filter in, and you would start to self-doubt yourself, and you'd have to go back to, like, no. So yes.
Are you talking about the haters?
All the haters. They love to hate.
Well, Mickie, listen.
Those are what we use for our fuel, is the haters.
Yeah.
It's like, I have always said, though, it's like, it's really hard for people who can't see what their own capabilities. So who can't get past that self-doubt and that self preservation in that sense, to see that possibility for other people. So it's easier for them to discredit people and bring them down to their level because they can't see themselves achieving their own dreams, than it is for them to lift them up and also try to go after their own goals in the meantime. That's what I think the biggest thing with the haters. And that's why I feel bad for them, Kurt.
You should.
I do.
Well, listen, Mickie, Kurt and I are going to walk you through kind of the history of Mickie James, take you on the journey of your career as we go through the questions. Well, that's what you've done. You have really elevated and drawn attention to women's wrestling, whether it was Empower and the pay-per-view, what you're doing with Impact. But I need you to walk us through your experience and your appearance at Royal Rumble.
I feel strongly that saving money is important. If it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit, with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at SaveWithConrad.com.
Are you contacted by WWE? Does WWE go through Impact? It's a fascinating story. Can you share it with us?
It is. It's pretty fascinating. It's pretty incredible that we were able to pull it off and put it all together. And Johnny reached out to Scott D'Amore first, for a company to company standpoint, to see if it was going to be okay, if this was something that they were interested in having, some of their talent on the WWE Rumble. And I think Scott then, obviously, he's like, well, that's not really, yes, it's okay. I'm open to it, but ultimately it's not my decision. And, so when he approached me with it, like I said, like I wanted anything I'd prayed for, something to be able to kind of like take back over whatever it was, to end my career there on a positive note, and a positive thing to remember me by. And so as soon as he called me, he's like, "Hey, do you have any interest in this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I do. Actually, I really do." And I said, I want, but what I really want is to be able to present Hardcore Country to the WWE audience, because they've never seen her. And I've known the whole time. I really wish I would have been able to do her there. They didn't understand. I want to present Hardcore Country to the WWE audience, because I know that they will love her and it'll be so over. And obviously I was the Knockouts champion at the time. So, and I still am. And so I was like, and Scott's like, "Well, if we get the belt on there, that would be really cool." I go, "Hell yeah, that would be cool." I was like, and then we started looking, I go like, "When's the last time the belt's been represented?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the champion. First off, I'm Hardcore Country, and I need to be who I am right now in relation, and not Mickie James, the legend, WWE legend, with my obsession music and the bell bottoms, but who I am right now that's relevant to television right now. And I'm the champion. And when's the last time this is done?" We talk about doors and ceilings and windows and all the things. Like, this could be monumental. It not only does it do really great business for myself, but it does great business for Impact Wrestling, and it does great business for WWE. And now it opens up the eyes to fans who all thought that this was going to be impossible to ever have dream matches of their favorite WWE superstars against some of their favorite superstars of other organizations. They can go like, "Oh, actually, this could happen." Like, we were just fantasy booking before, but this could potentially really happen. And that was really cool. And I think I couldn't have done it like without, obviously my relationship with Johnny and my relationship with Scott, and the fact that they trusted me enough to know that I was going to hopefully represent it the right way. And yeah, it was a lot of excitement, but also, as you know, I was like very anxious and nervous because a million things could go the other way. So I couldn't celebrate until after it was over. Now that it's done with and I'm through it, I feel like I can celebrate. But the whole time leading up to it, until my music actually hit and I'm walking out there with the belt around my waist, I'm thinking about, okay, I'm just going to keep it positive, but what if they play the wrong music, or what if they say, "Oh, you can't go out with the belt now, we changed our mind," or whatever. But I will say it took a lot to get to that agreement to go like, this is what I want in order to make it happen. Like, this is what I would really like in a perfect world. And I was expecting to get no's on a couple of them. And Johnny said, "Okay, well, let me go talk to Vince." And he did. And Vince approved everything. And he came back and was like, "Vince is excited to see you. Can't wait. It's
awesome.
going to be amazing." And I'm like, holy shit, what is happening? This is wrestling right now. I can't believe, like, I was in shock, and I think I was still in shock up until as it was happening. And I'm like, this is really happening. I was so fired up when I went out there because I'm like, yes, it's really happening.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.